Time for another Cougar Coaches Show on Mediacom Channel 22, also online here at ColumbiaCougars.com. Cosmo, along with head coach of the volleyball squad, Melinda Ryan Washington. Coach, welcome back.
Thank you.
And basically the end of segment 2 of your season. You've got the regular season and then or the early part of the season rather than the full season, and then get ready for the conference tournament action. On a roll right now, big winning streak coming in, ended up getting the 1 seed in the tournament here. Talk about this team's turnaround to facing some early adversity and then putting it all together here in the middle of the season.
You know, we've had to evolve. It was a big blow early when we lost 2 of our better players, and more importantly, the leadership of Brooke Simpson when she went down early in the season. We had a rough stretch in there. You know, we had some seniors. We have both Trinity Ojo and Carol Berger in the middle, who are both seniors, and Aaron Pavlin. But they're middle hitters. Middles rely on the ball control behind them, and the 2 players we lost were 2 of our better ball control players. So it's been an adjustment period all the way through. The mid part of our season was just hectic, you know, just trying to figure out roles, figuring out who physically and mentally and leadership-wise we're going to be in those roles. Once we got it figured out, we've kind of been on a roll here the last half, and we're working on more fine-tuning and getting better every time we take the court.
I think that's a lot of times a lot of people don't, you just see it as a body of work as a team and a final score, and you realize that. And especially with this previous success over the years of the program, the bar has been set so high by yourself and previous teams, obviously, that when there are those hiccups, it stands out even more glaringly, like, wait, what's going on with the volleyball team? And let's don't forget that there was quite a bit of turnover to begin with before the injuries anyway. You were already going to have an uphill battle, at least to get the team into chemistry-wise together, and then the injuries obviously really take that off track.
Yeah, you know, thinking back in the years that I've been here, maybe the 2000, my first season here, we had 2 sophomores and 10 freshmen. And that was rough. That was rough. You know, we ended up doing really well. We went to the national championship, sat at number 1 in the ranking for a good part of the season. But, you know, other than that season, and maybe my 4th, there was another rollover then 4 years later when all those freshmen were seniors. Those 2 seasons were the closest thing we've had to the leadership problem we had early on when we lost players. And like you said, we've been very fortunate to have good leadership returning, and our rotation of graduating seniors has been really good. We've been able to keep that core group, you know, returning season after season and developing new leaders on a nice schedule. And the injuries really, you know, we were a little bit short this year, but Brooke Simpson is such a strong leader that I really thought that we would be okay. And then, you know, bang, a week before we start our first tournament, she goes down with an ACL. So, you know, it was significant, and it's something that I've got a lot of respect for the girls because they've really taken that and continue to work hard and evolve and find new leadership and find ways to win games. And
to be sitting here now as the conference tournament continues in that top spot and finish a conference season at 10-1 and be right there on that edge of the top 10, top 12 in the overall national rankings. You got to be pretty proud of the way the team rallied around themselves and around your guys' game plans and put it together down the stretch.
Yeah, you know, it's nice for me to be in a national ranking role because I've got a good handle on the rest of the country, and I watch scores constantly. I watch game film. And just letting the team know the expectations, so they're not just blindly out there playing. They have a goal every night. They know the situation that they're in. They know what wins and losses mean in every situation. And I've done more of that this year than I have in the past. In the past, we just approach game by game and execute our game plan, and we're working on being on top. Now, you know, we've got a little bit more of a game plan. We know what we have to work for in each situation and what wins and losses might mean in those situations. And making the girls aware of that is very important this year. And having a goal, both short-term and long-term, week by week, we have goals, you know, and we're really having to work and bear down every night.
Maybe even more of a focus on those weekly goals than you've had in the past before, sure. Where just to keep that focus, because especially right now with each win now, that opportunity to put yourself in that upper 12 ranking to stay away from having to play an extra match to get to the national tournament is crucial.
Yeah, and we're down to daily, weekly, hourly goals. I mean, we're time managing right now with academics, trying to get ahead, you know, anticipating that we're going to get to that national tournament final site. You know, we're time managing everything right now, academics, athletics, social, everything. And, you know, it comes down to hourly goals when you really start looking at it and breaking it down.
And one of the big every year, kind of a moment to stop and reflect towards the end with the Senior Day festivities on Saturday with Trinity and Carol and Aaron Pavlin, who, again, when we were filming the old first couple seasons of the Coaches Show over at MediaCom, I remember Aaron, her freshman year was, I never even knew her name was Aaron. You just constantly were calling her freshman. Hey, freshman, hey, freshman, hey, freshman. And I remember last year's Senior Day, seeing your dad here with everybody on that day and thinking, wait a minute, why? She's not a senior yet. That's next year. And then this Saturday, here we are. This past Saturday, a great group of seniors for your squad this year. Talk about what they've meant to this program over the last 4 years.
A lot. You know, they've all really come a long way. You know, Aaron coming in was just a little bit clueless and has come a long way. Trinity too. You know, they're both 4-year people in our program. Carol being a 2-year. I wish she was a 4-year. You know, I mean, they've all been great, and they're part of our family. They're really a part of that core group that has taken us a long way. They know what the wins and losses mean. They're more of silent leadership. They're not big talkers. Trinity is pretty intimidating at the net, but as far as, you know, being big talkers and that kind of thing, that's not what they are. But they lead by example. You know, they're all hard workers. They all, you know, Erin academically excels and really sets the standard on trips. She's always studying. She's always time managing. She's involved in the blood drives here on campus. She gets out in the community. She's very focused on her future and things like that. I mean, Trinity too. Just those seniors mean a lot, and they've turned out to be very good examples. They lead by example and hard workers on the court for sure. A
great group, and they continue to march through with the AMC Conference Tournament and looking for the rankings heading for the national tournament. We'll come back talk a little about the AMC, which is turning into some more and more teams. And for a long time, it was you guys were the only ranked team as far as having that number to the left side, with a couple other teams depending on the year, with some MoBAP and some Woods teams having some previous success. But now it seems like even more programs creeping up and taking your example and your lead and challenging you guys at the top of the AMC conference. We'll talk about the tournament and a little preview ahead to the national tournament for the Columbia College Cougars after this on MediaCom Channel 22.